Hey everybody, Jay Glazer bringing you another Facebook and Instagram Live. Yes, we are going multi-channel here, people. This is 2017. We are not messing around. So, I'm going to start with a little have need know. What do we have? We have a couple great properties still in the market. Buyers, there is opportunity. You have 1 week. Right now, this week, this is dead week, buyers. So we have two great for sale properties that I think you can get a good deal on. We have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in Hell's Kitchen for $799,000. Ping us if you want details on that. That is under market price for that home, and it's still on the market. Maybe a little indication of where the market is heading. And we have as well a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a wonderful terrace in Midtown East. Again, a very unique property, really, really well priced for this market, and it hasn't sold. So buyers, if you are sitting on the fence, you're like, oh, I'm still waiting for that great deal. Now is the time to take advantage of that great deal. We have product that is available for a great price. And the next thing, what do we need? Folks, the September bump is coming, right? Fall is coming, right? So what do we need in that space? We need some product. If you have anything that you're considering selling, you're like, oh, I'm waiting for the right time, my kids are back in school, my kids need to be out of school, whatever it is, put all that nonsense aside and list your home in the fall, all right? We are short on inventory. Right now, a lot of the inventory, as you might have heard from previous Facebook Live videos, is not being put online via StreetEasy because of the little Cold War that's happening on StreetEasy. And as a result, it's a great time to list your home through an agent and get that out into the open marketplace because so many people are pining for inventory. They don't know what's out there. StreetEasy is not the #1 source anymore. So if you have something, you're going to have a lot of people attracted to it when Labor Day completes, which is only a week from now. And what do we know? We know that the market is ever shifting. We are in a marketplace that for the last 3-4 years has been so sell side strong. And now we are seeing the buyers take control. So if you're a seller, maybe get in there before the bottom comes out. I don't think we're heading towards recession, but at the same time, we are stabilizing aggressively. So it's a very good time for you to list your home if you are on the fence to do so. And if you're a buyer, as I just said, just buy some homes. It is a great time to buy in New York City. The market is now reaping opportunity for buyers. We are working with a lot of buyers and negotiating great deals for our buyers. Feel free to ask us how we did it, and we will give you those tips. But today I want to talk about something that's been top of mind for me for a couple reasons. Reason number one, I am going through this myself. Reason number two, we have a lot of clients going through this. And what is this that we are speaking of? That is renovation, folks. I am talking about the big R, renovation. So I myself am going through my 3rd renovation right now. I bought a house upstate and we are trying to renovate it top to bottom mostly. And let me tell you, it's a pain in the ass. Let me just put this out there now. Renovating is a pain in the ass. So that is kind of my first tip, which is, if you are going to renovate, boys and girls, make sure you are the right candidate for renovation. So if you are an A-type personality, maybe renovating a home is not for you because you have no control over the process. Or if you're the type of person who has no patience, then maybe you shouldn't renovate a home because renovating is a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of hassle. That doesn't mean you can't get amazing benefits from a renovation, whether that's on unlocking upside potential on a home or whether that's just getting the home of your dreams and customizing it to what you want. Both of those are amazing reasons to renovate, but understand the complications with renovation, the difficulty, the frustration with renovation. Does it sound like I'm speaking from experience? I think I am. And then ultimately go after the renovation with the right state of mind. So really, the pre-tip is make sure you're the right type of person to renovate. The second tip, if you are buying a home here in New York City, try to negotiate with the renovation in mind. That means bake in an expected renovation cost, and if you can, negotiate the deal according to that renovation. Sometimes you're going to get that. Sometimes you're not going to get all of that, but just factor that in when you're buying a home. So obviously you have a price in mind, but also keep that price in mind as it relates to the added new costs of that renovation. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is have a budget in mind and reverse engineer that budget into the costs, or I should say into the renovation. So the work that you need to do. Don't say I want to do X, Y, Z and then get the cost. Think of what you feel comfortable spending and then work with the team, contractor, architect, designer, broker. In many instances, we help a lot of our clients with the design and build, and then back your way into that. So say you have a $50,000 renovation, figure out the high level items you can accomplish on that renovation for that $50K and then reverse engineer that. And then the third tip is a really good one that I have personally employed myself on pretty much every home that I've ever renovated, is value save where you can. So a really obvious example that I use, and if you're out there in Facebook land and Instagram land and you've heard me say this, I apologize. Sometimes the same tips get uttered over and over again because they are good tips. This tip is, for example, Bertazzoni is a little known Italian range maker. They make beautiful stainless steel stovetops, ranges. And you can put one of those 30 inchers into your kitchen renovation instead of spending $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for the Wolf or the Viking, the really sexy, meaty stove that you're probably going to use as a storage container for the 5 years you own the house. You're probably never going to use the stove anyway. So spend $2,500 on the Bertazzoni, save yourself $7,500, and then ultimately you save money right there. You're value engineering your renovation. Use a specific type of stone in the bathroom instead of Carrara marble, right? There are ways to make something look really good. Aesthetics are not always indicative of having spent a ton of money. So value save on areas where it's at all possible. That's tip number 3. And the last tip sounds very obvious, but I can tell you it's the source of the most frustration for our clients who are in renovating mode, is getting your paperwork in order. The beautiful thing about buying in New York City is it's not an overnight process. It takes anywhere from 30, 60, 90, even 120 days. If you plan on renovating from the get-go, the minute you get into contract on a home, start the paperwork, start the renovation process. We have a lot of clients who are in the process of buying homes as we speak, and they're working on their design, their paperwork, their insurance with their contractor, squaring away their agreements with their contractor, and all of those little nitty-gritty things, so that the day you actually are the owner of the home, you can then get to work. Now, you're going to have to submit that paperwork to the condo or co-op board or the city if you're doing a major renovation, and all of that stuff takes time, but minimize that wasted time by doing all of this work in advance while you don't actually own or pay anything on the property. So that would be my last tip. So, as I said when we started this video, I have done a lot of renovation. I am on my 3rd home renovation at the ripe young age of 32 years old. So if you are curious about renovating a home, drop us a comment. I'll happily share my tips with you. I've actually written some articles about this. I'll happily go over those with you. We'd love to hear your stories about renovating. Share your fun stories. Tell us what you did great in a renovation, what works. Tell us your horror stories. If you need to vent, listen, psychologist Jay over here is always happy to listen to your problems. So share your horror stories with us on Facebook or Instagram. DM us. Let us know what you want to hear. And have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. We will see you when the fall season kicks off. And next week we'll actually be out in the West Coast, so you might get a little Facebook Live LA style. Stay tuned for that. Thanks, everybody.